صلوات على محمد وآل محمد. This will be Surah Al-Hajj, verses 1 through 16. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم إن زلزلة الساعة شيء عظيم يوم ترونها تذهل كل مرضعة عما رضعت وتضع كل ذات حمل حملها وترى الناس سكارى وما هم بسكارى ولكن عذاب الله شديد. ومن الناس من يجادل في الله بغير علم ويتبع كل شيطان مريد كتب عليه أنه من تولاه فأنه يضله ويهديه إلى عذاب السعير. يا أيها الناس إن كنتم في ريب من البعث فإنا خلقناكم من تراب ثم من نطفة ثم من علقة ثم من مضغة مخلقة وغير مخلقة لنبين لكم ونقر في الأرحام ما نشاء إلى أجل مسمى ثم نخرجكم طفلا ثم لتبلغوا أشدكم ومنكم من يتوفى ومنكم من يرد إلى أرذل العمر لكي لا يعلم من بعد علم شيئا وترى الأرض هامدة فإذا أنزلنا عليها الماء اهتزت وربت وأنبتت من كل زوج بهيج. ذلك بأن الله هو الحق وأنه يحيي الموتى وأنه على كل شيء قدير وأن الساعة آتية لا ريب فيها وأن الله يبعث من في القبور. ومن الناس من يجادل في الله بغير علم ولا هدى ولا كتاب منير ثاني عطفه ليضل عن سبيل الله له في الدنيا خزي ونذيقه يوم القيامة عذاب الحريق. ذلك بما قدمت يداك وأن الله ليس بظلام للعبيد. ومن الناس من يعبد الله على حرف فإن أصابه خير اطمأن به وإن أصابته فتنة انقلب على وجهه خسر الدنيا والآخرة ذلك هو الخسران المبين. يدعو من دون الله ما لا يضره وما لا ينفعه ذلك هو الضلال البعيد. يدعو لمن ضره أقرب من نفعه لبئس المولى ولبئس العشير. إن الله يدخل الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار إن الله يفعل ما يريد. من كان يظن ناشرا فليمدد بسبب إلى السماء ثم ليقطع فلينظر هل يذهبن كيده ما يغيظ وكذلك أنزلناه آيات بينات وأن الله يهدي من يريد صدق الله العلي العظيم.
Can we have another loud salawat for that beautiful recitation? Salawat Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Just the usual couple of announcements before we call up our speaker. As I've been saying for the past few nights, and inshallah we'll continue saying up until the end of Muharram and Safar. Camp registrations are open for all youth ages 17 and older. Strongly encourage everyone to apply if you fall in the age range and to attend. It's a great opportunity, great scholars coming, including Sayyida Sajafri. Please do go on the website and go and apply. If you have any questions, please let us know, and we'll, Sister Sarah Wasi on the sister side, Brother Ali Mirza on the brother side, Sister Beer, and Sister Fatima as well. So please approach these guys, ask them questions about the camp, how it is, what the reason is, and why we're having these camps every year. It's a great opportunity, inshallah. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., there's SYG is hosting a hike with Sayyida Sajafri. It's open to all ages, all groups, anyone who wants to come. Please do encourage you guys to attend, inshallah. And with that, we have upcoming event. I would just like to invite our brother Tanveer to explain this. Please invite him out loud salawat.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. I won't take too much of your time, but wanted to share some quick information about a couple of events that are happening in December tied to the birthday celebration of our Holy Prophet. Now, some of you know this. The last couple of years, our friends from SBIA, which was the South Bay Islamic Association, one of the leading Sunni mosques in the area, they invited us to join them for the birthday celebration of the Prophet. So 2 years ago, maybe 30, 40 of us, went for that event. Last year, close to 100 of us went, and Maulana Abadi was, one of the invited speakers, and they were very cordial towards Maulana Abadi. He gave a great speech, and it was a nice event. The mayor of San Jose was there. There were a few Sunni scholars too. And, in the Bay Area, there's not many Sunni organizations who celebrate the birthday of the Prophet, right? So this is one of the few organizations that does that. Some of the major ones don't believe in, celebrating or anything like that. So I think it's a great, Shia Sunni unity event. So December 2nd, please mark your calendars. It's going to be at SBIA, and most of you know it. It's Montague and 880 Freeway. So 880 Freeway exit in Montague is where it is. And this year too, Maulana Abadi is one of the invited speakers. And also they've asked for some of our kids to perform. So some of their kids will, perform, a brief presentation, and Rise Academy students will also do a short presentation. So I think it's a great step, in the right direction. And then about a week later, the exact date will, be decided either December 8th or 10th. The Shias, the greater Bay Area Shia centers are getting together to have a similar celebration, and we hope some of the Sunni organizations will join us for that event. Location to be decided. You'll have more information, but please do come out and support the SBI event, and as we get more information on the Shia event, we'll funnel more information. And also want to take this opportunity to thank Mustafa and Brother Hussain and all the brothers and sisters who helped. We've had great English programs, great speakers, and Sheikh, they're keeping you busy this weekend, man. Hiking, they kept you up till 1 a.m. last night. So and he joined us for Hussain Day today, which was a very good event as well. So so folks, please do support SABA's events, and I'll turn it back to Mustafa.
And with that, I think just the usual children's program as well. Just want a quick reminder about that we do have children's program going on right now for anyone who's interested. Inshallah, with that, I'd like just to invite up Sayyida Sajafri with the last salawat.
alcohol and drugs and eventual problems, we alhamdulillah resort to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even when we go through the most difficult tragedy that we have, let's say, in our life, we lose a loved one at a very, very awkward age, an age that they shouldn't have gone, and we are devastated with grief. We take that grief and we drop it in the ocean of Imam Hussain. If my parents lose a young son, then of course we cry for Ali Akbar. If God forbid somebody loses an infant child, we cry for Ali Asghar. If a brother loses a brother, we cry for Abdul Fazl al-Abbas. And it's a beautiful nature of Azadari. It makes everything bearable. We're crying for Hussain, but we're emptying our hearts out for the grief of our loved ones as well. Now, if you take that outlet away from us, where do we go? Where do we go? Tell me, what do you do when you have this unbearable dunya knocking at your door, banging your door, ripping your door apart? So at least while the dunya is trying to strip you of your iman, you're actually getting stronger with Allah. So the dunya might be, weakening you, but your iman is getting stronger with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now the Quran says, if you take that away from you, in qalba ala wajhihi, if you turn your face away from Allah at the most opportune time for you to run towards Allah, because as long as things are good, we're okay. We turn back to Allah when things are bad. Part of the reason why Shaykh Mutahhir rahmatullah alayh talks about why there's hardships in this world is because it forces us to go back towards Allah. That, these WhatsApp messages, recite this 40 times and this 30 times and you have 10 and you have 10 and I have 20, be done by next Friday, and this, this amal that's crazy, mashallah. That only happens when someone gets real sick or someone, is in need of, let's say, some, to get married, or a huge issue they're going through. Then we turn to Allah. Tasbih comes out, extra salat comes out, extra du'as come out. That's how we are. That's why Allah sometimes places that crack in the sidewalk to remind us that when you slip on that sidewalk, that Allah is still there. If we don't have that, then we've lost both the dunya and the akhirat as well. Why? Because we've ended up on the edge of a cliff. Ala harfin. Surah Hajj, ayat number 11. On the edge of a cliff. We haven't done the preliminary work to be able to be so strong that even if the dunya throws everything at us, it will not force us to be at the edge of a cliff. We're not that fragile of a mu'min. We'll take the trial and tribulation. In fact, we will thank Allah that Allah, you saw something inside of me for me to be able to handle this tribulation. And I will not let you down. When the Quran talks about the idea that we do not give you anything you cannot handle, then when Allah throws things at you that you believe you can't handle, know that Allah sees something inside of you that's beyond what you believe inside of you. He sees potential inside of you. That's why many of us go through some serious problems. At the end of it, we surprise ourselves. Man, I can't believe I got through that. That was crazy. A lot of you tell me your story from 5 years ago. Sayyid, I thought I was done. I was drowning. I couldn't see anything. And now I live to tell you about it. Now I'm a better person because of it. Allah saw that potential. You didn't see that potential. Sometimes it requires you to go through that for you to be able to see what you are all about. Sometimes it requires you to jump in the pool to see how dirty that pool is, or even how clean that pool is as well. I mean, I see people that are incredible. Some of these youth, on the outside they seem very fragile, very weak. This guy's gonna lead the deen any second. I tell you, man. Tomorrow he's gone, and then this very tough problem comes about, and the man turns into Superman, and he gets through it without a blink. I was like, damn, that was good. That was amazing, and his iman just shot up, and with it, my iman shot up as well. But sometimes it's to go through that. That's why I said yesterday, part of the idea of yaqeen is not to find yaqeen in WhatsApp groups. It's not, I'm sorry. Yaqeen is not found on online blogs or YouTubers or all that stuff. That's not. The yaqeen is found in the mihrab on the musalla. You go through the act, then you'll find out why it was meant to be done. Not the other way around. Al-Islam huwa al-taslim, al-taslim huwa al-yaqeen. Islam is submission. That submission will bring you certainty. Not the other way around. Story I've told here before. A father goes to his son and says, son, if you pray namaz al-shab or salat al-layl every single night, I'll give you X amount of dollars. Let's say, for example, in Iran, I'll give you, let's say, I don't know, I'll give you 100,000 to months. That's a lot. I'll give you 10,000 to months. So you come to my door at 3 o'clock in the morning, you knock on my door, say, Baba, I'm awake, I'll give you the money, you go and you pray namaz al-shab. And for a month, 2 months, every single morning, this guy says, Baba, pay up, and he goes, pray namaz al-shab. One day, of course, there's no knock on the door. And his father thinks, that's it, this guy slept in today. He goes to wake him up, lo and behold, the light underneath the door is on. He peeks in, and his son is reciting Salatul Layl. When he's done, he says to him, what happened? You didn't come for your money. He says, Baba, after months of praying Salatul Layl, I realize what I'm gaining from this salat is more than your 10,000 a month. But he had to go through that process to be able to get to that yaqeen. I'm not saying to bribe your kids for ibadat. That there's reasons why we have hadith that says when your child reaches 7, encourage them, even force them to a certain degree to come and stand beside you on the musalla. Because when he becomes baligh or she becomes baligh, that transition is seamless. So yeah, you can't expect at the age of 15, 16, 18 to understand the falsafa of salat. You can't. This mi'raj of a mu'min at the age of 7, you're not going to do it. I'm sorry, I hate to burst your bubble. So let's stop waiting for that aha moment to pray salat. Pray it and Allah will gift you that. He'll open up doors for you that you don't even know were there to begin with. That's all this idea of building yaqeen so you can submit to Allah completely. This zamana, this era does not require or need partial submission. And like I said before to you, Allah requires us and Allah is deserving of our complete and absolute submission. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So we understand why this verse, and hopefully you guys are following in your Quran app, Surah Hajj, ayat number 11. This is one that I talked about for the past 2-3 nights. I'll talk about one more verse inshallah tonight, and also you please, if you can, follow along. It talks about the fact that if those people on the edge of a cliff, they'll lose both worlds, and that is the biggest loss. So we're not going to be individuals who allow our iman to get so fragile to the point where we are the slightest little bit of test and we're gone. So if you're somebody in this room who doesn't quite understand basic concepts or fundamental concepts like Allah, like His adala, like the day of resurrection, like prophethood, all these things, then please get that rectified ASAP. Don't let it get to the point where you become so fragile, a little bit of the wind of this dunya blows you over the top. And I mentioned in passing yesterday, Allah has done too much for us to go and worship A, B, and C. He says, I deserve that worship. I've done too much for you. I've done more for you than anybody else has. And one story that's often told from Nabi Musa's time, to talk about the beauty of Allah and how much He loves us. And I keep claiming that 70 times more than our mother and blah, 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 all these things. And of course, these are hadiths. But one story I want to make, and then we move towards a dua in Surah AlEimran, inshallah. And that is this. Before that, one loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, please. It's a story I tell almost everywhere I go. So maybe I'm sure you've heard it before. Nabi Musa and his group, the Bani Israel, are coming out of the clutches of Fir'aun on their way out of his area. And they come to an area in the desert where there's no water. Hasn't rained in a few days. Drought now is starting. And the elders of the tribe go to Nabi Musa and say, perhaps we should all collectively pray for rain. And Nabi Musa said, that's a great idea. They all gather, they all begin to pray for rain. And the books say that as they're praying, it seemed like the clouds were coming to form for a rainfall, and then they would separate, the sun would come through, and the drought would intensify. This happened several times during the dua session. Until Nabi Musa says, Allah, it's it's me asking for rain. Wahi comes down and says to Nabi Musa, Musa, there's a man in your tribe, in your group right now, who has sinned against me for 40 straight years. Until he asks for tawbah and corrects it with me, I will not grant you your dua. And Nabi Musa stands up and announces to this massive crowd that there is somebody amongst you who has wronged Allah for 40 years. Until you correct that, we will not be blessed with rain. Can you imagine that moment? Complete silence, grass, crickets, the whole nine. The man who's responsible for this begins to talk to Allah in his heart of hearts. And says to Allah, Allah, you know it's me, I know it's me. But please, protect my respect amongst my tribesmen. I have wronged you for 40 years. And this is a moment where I'm coming back to you now. And I'm begging you for your forgiveness. I am sincere, I will not go back to my old ways. All happening within the heart of his hearts. The people are looking around wondering who it is. Nabi Musa is waiting at the head of the tribe. And this man now has an internal conversation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's finished the conversation, the clouds begin to form and torrential rainfall happens. Nabi Musa sees that rainfall, the people takbir Allahu Akbar. Nabi Musa is confused. Allah, nobody came forward. He says, Musa, the man who's responsible came to me with the utmost sincerity and I forgave him. And I gifted you and your tribe rain. Then Nabi Musa asks Allah a question. Allahu Akbar. He says, can you show me who that man is? Look at the answer of Allah, and I want you to think for a moment that does Allah not deserve our worship, complete worship in every situation? He says to Nabi Musa, Musa, when this man was sinning against me for 40 years, when he was sinning against me for 40 years, I didn't expose him to you. I didn't tell you who he was. And now that he's made things right with me, I will not tell you again who he is. This is the Allah that we believe in. And a hint of that we see with our mother, for example, who she knows we do wrong, but she'll protect our dignity in front of everybody. She'll make 1,000 excuses in front of everybody, even though she knows that we're guilty. That's 1/70th of the love that Allah has for us. Now when he sees us going towards money, going towards fame, going towards the ego, going towards this, everybody in our heart but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's almost as if he's banging his head that what does the insan need from me to make him realize that there's benefit in you worshipping me. I'll do more for you than anybody else will in this dunya. That's why a lot of it is this idea that we need to pray. A lot of it is du'as. And let me very briefly, in the second half of the speech, go through the idea of dua, and specifically one dua that I recite in my qunut every single day, whether it's farada or jama'at, from Surah AlEimran, ayat number 8. Again, if you're following along, Surah AlEimran, verse number 8. Very famous verse. Let me break it down word for word to get some idea of what we're asking from Allah. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. The verse says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Rabbana la tuzigh qulubana ba'da idh hadaytana wa hab lana min ladunka rahma innaka antal wahhab. A very famous verse that some of you have memorized, alhamdulillah. The overall English translation is that, oh Allah, do not allow zigh, and I'll explain what zigh means in a moment, to enter our hearts ba'da idh hadaytana, after you've already guided us. Okay, Surah AlEimran, verse number 8. After you've already guided us. And gift us from your special mercy, for you are the ultimate giver. That's kind of the weak English translation. When we go through a little bit of the keywords of this verse, you'll see how profound this dua is and what we're asking for from Allah. Let's go word for word, inshallah. Follow me for a moment, please. Rabbana, our Lord, la tuzigh. Zigh in Arabic, in the books of lughat, in the books of lexical meanings of the Quran, zayg is described as the moment that someone who's going straight begins to curve one way without them knowing it. The example is sometimes given by individuals like Raghib Isfahani and other individuals. They use a grave digger. A grave digger's job is very simple. You are to dig a perfect rectangle where both sides are equally straight. And the books say, I want you to imagine that a grave digger, of course, without knowing it, begins to dig so that one area is like a C and one side is straight. It curves off the path without him knowing it. He thinks while he's digging that it's straight. That curve or that movement away from the straight path without him knowing is called zayg in Arabic. Okay? Rabbana la tuzigh qulubana. This bend in my straight path, I don't want that inside of our hearts. Ba'da idha hadaytana, after you've already guided us. Meaning what? You've placed us on the right path. My job is to keep the car straight on the path. Don't swerve, don't curve, don't bend, don't turn. Just stay on the path, man. You're already there. You're already there. وَهَبْ لَنَا مِن لَدُنْكَ رَحْمَةً. This is the most beautiful part of the dua. Hiba is a gift in Arabic. And gift us, lana, us. What? Min ladunka rahma. Rahma, we know. Ladun. What's ladun in Arabic? What's ladun in Arabic? So for example, ladun is something, and I'll give you a very simple example. If you were to ask me, let's say for a pen, let's say, do you have a pen? And I'll give you a pen out of my pocket. You'll say, Hada min indi. This is from me. This is from me. Simple pen out of my pocket. Okay? If you ask me for something that's very, very special for me, please look very carefully. This is the most beautiful dua that I've come across in the Quran. If you ask for me for something that's very, very special to me, that you won't find lying around in my living room or my bedroom, and can I get that? Let's say there's some cloth that I've mussed on the dhari of the Aimma. Or let's say there is, I don't know, some water from Zamzam that I got from Hajj this year, for example. Whatever the case may be, something very near and dear, very close, very special to me, that I've packed away in a box, within a box, within a box, in the back of my closet. Okay? And you come to me and say, you know what? Say, I want that cloth that's in that. I would go open one box, open one box, open one box, the key, whatever the case may be, everything wrapped up nicely, and give you that cloth. I wouldn't say, Hada min indi, I say, Hada min ladunni. This is from my special stash. This is from something that's very, very special to me. Not for everybody. You're close to me, you're a brother of mine, you asked me for it, here it is. One thing where I give you a pen out of my pocket, there you go. If you lose it, don't worry. This is gold for me. This is from my lodun. Those of you who have read a little bit about ilm kalam and aqaid and theology in Islam, when you get to the bahth on imamat, you'll know that there is a whole discussion in the books on the qualifications of an imam, what the imam has to have. One is isma, infallibility. He has to be infallible. The other is ilm, not any ilm, ilm ladunni. Ilm ladunni. A special ilm, for lack of a better English word, a special ilm, a special knowledge that of course transcends the heavens and the earth. So what are we asking for in this dua? Hab lana min ladunka rahma. Gift us from not your mercy. There's a mercy, Allah, you have that's in a special box of a box of a box somewhere stashed inside your kingdom that you use for very, very khas and very special moments. Okay, I've been guided, we're on the path, everything's good, but I'm curving for some reason. I don't know I'm curving. I need your mercy to get back on track. I don't want any mercy. I want the mercy that is inside the special stash of yours. Somewhere you have mercy in that's not for the general public, that's made for your special servant. I want that mercy for me. Sometimes, we go through ups and downs, right? All the time. I go through that. I get questions all the time. In the month of Ramadan, after the nights of Qadr, after the day of Ashura, Sayyid, I'm on a high. These last 10 days have been amazing. I'm flying to Allah. I feel like I have wings. I can't do anything wrong. Ya Allah, I feel amazing, but I'm feeling a bit of a decline. I can't maintain that spiritual high. And so we skyrocket up, we skyrocket down. We skyrocket up, we skyrocket down. And we kill ourselves in the process. Now, why couldn't I maintain that? For 7 straight days, Salatul Layl, Fajr, and I'm sleeping. I feel great. I feel great. On the 8th day, the alarm is set, but for some reason I wake up when the sun rises. I didn't watch anything I shouldn't have watched. I watched my tongue. I watched everything. I watched my ears. I watched my eyes. I felt really good about myself. And then for a good 4 or 5 days, Shaitan somehow got the best of me. Now my eyes are everywhere. My ears are, my tongue is out of control. And now I come crashing down. And I have to build myself back up again, only crash down again. So I believe and then deceive, and then believe and then deceive. And this daunting, tiring, exhausting task sometimes gets the best of us. And the question all of you guys have is, how do I maintain that high, Sayyid? Why do I come crashing down? Seesaw, teeter, totter, up and down. Right? It's like when you see 2 kids on a seesaw, right? The heavier kids, it's always on the bottom. Because this light kid can't bring the kid back up. So whoever is the heaviest inside of you is the one that's keeping you down. That's how we are sometimes. Sometimes our iman is way up. Sometimes it comes crashing down. And we're tired. We ask Allah, please help us. Please help us. Wallahi, I don't want to keep doing this sin. I said sorry, but it's not working. I say sorry, within 12 hours, I'm committing the exact same thing. And I know that sin is wrong for me, man. I know it is. But I can't shake this. This dua is asking Allah, Allah, maybe you have something in your secret stash that might help me stop doing this vicious cycle. I want you, hablana min ladunka rahma. I want you to gift that mercy for me. I don't want mercy for Bob and Joe and Ali, Hassan and Fatima. I want it for me, the special one. The special one. I'm being greedy here. I'm on the path, absolutely, but I'm bending, I'm curving. I don't know it. I want you to make me stop going up and down on my iman. وَحَبْ لَنَا مِن لَدُنْكَ رَحْمَةً مِن لَدُنْكَ رَحْمَةً. Ladun is that special box somewhere inside Allah's Zat that He can pull out and say, look, you know what, I'll give you this now. And everything is good all of a sudden. إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ الْوَهَّابِ. Wahab is sigha mubaligha, again from hiba or hab, means you are the best giver. You constantly give gifts. You're a giver, you're a giver, you're a giver. Why they're called Wahhabis, I have no idea. It has nothing to do with the actual meaning. Wahhab means a constant giver. They take, mashallah. So this dua, please, I want you to use the power of dua. But I want you to pray properly. Praying properly is the key. And I want you to understand this point. This point is very, very vital. It feels like they all are, but this one, I tell you, is the most vital. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Ya Allah. How we pray and what we pray for is very important. Hadith says, and I mentioned this to the brothers last night, I said that half of the answer to your dua is the dua itself, Hadith says. It's an incredible statement. Half the answer to your dua is the dua itself. Half the battle is to identify who to ask. Once you identified who to ask, you'll get your answer eventually. Because that person, that entity, is the one who will give you your dua. The problem is sometimes we ask from individuals or from entities that don't have the power to give. And the one who has the power saying, hello, ask me, please. And we don't. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Good luck. Please, Malana, please come forward, man. Malana Abdi, please come forward if you don't mind, please. With one last salawat, please, ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad, please. He won't come forward. Okay. So half of the answer to our du'as is the dua itself. But it's also, what are we asking for? And I want my older youth to really focus on this. We sometimes ask for the reality outside of us to change when we should be asking for the reality inside of us to change. Let me explain that. Let me say it one more time. We beg Allah to change the reality outside of us, when in reality, the dua is to change the reality inside of us. For example, it's a little bit of a foolish example. Don't mind me. I have 2 very bad examples. like grade 4 examples. For example, you are going to enter, let's say, your pre-med exam. It's a pre-medical exam. It's not an easy exam to get into med school. Okay? And you are about to enter, you wake up the morning of the exam, now you have 2 different du'as. One dua could be that, oh Allah, give me the ability to focus in my exam, to not forget what I learned, to retain what I learned, to be able to explain properly, to not get distracted, to use my time wisely. All these things are great du'as, talking about the reality inside of me. The other dua is, oh Allah, please somehow convert this medical exam to a grade 5 science exam for me. That would be great. I can ace it. And then when we open the exam paper and it's an actual pre-med exam, you're like, oh great, thanks a lot, Allah. You didn't listen to my du'as. One is changing the reality outside of you. One is the reality inside of you. Second bad example. Let's say someone is on a boat. That boat crashes. This guy is in the middle of the ocean, clutching on a piece of the boat, trying to get to the shore of the island. He's in the middle of the ocean. Again, he has 2 du'as. Please follow very carefully. One du'a is what? Allah give me that power, that strength, that willpower to somehow make it to the shore of the island so I can survive. Give me that inner strength, that courage. The other du'a is, Allah, please somehow convert this entire ocean to dry land so I could just stand up and walk to the shore. One is to change the reality outside of me. One is to change the reality inside of me. And a lot of us, we ask for du'as for Allah to change the reality outside of me. When that's not possible. It's a reality that exists in this world based on Allah's wisdom and His hikmah and His ilm. That will not change. What can change, what should change, what will change is a reality inside of me. To tap into that potential. Somehow Allah make this Western society pious, or make it look like, let's say, Iran or Pakistan, or let me hear the adhan from every corner in San Jose. Baba, not going to happen. That reality won't change outside of you. You live in the West, you live in the Bay Area. That won't change. What will change is the reality inside of you. So we have to do dua, not for things to change outside of us. That's going to be set already, to change inside of us. And oh, by the way, for all those you who, mashallah, who are aiming to be the urafa, there'll come a time where the outside will change as well for you. But first, change the inside. Ask for that potential inside of you. You're asking Allah, وَهَبْ لَنَا مِن لَدُنْكَ رَحْمَةً. I want Allah from that special mercy. I'm asking Allah to use that mercy to change something inside of me. Everything outside has remained the same. I have changed. Many of you have told me, I've gone to Hajj 2 or 3 times. I've gone to Karbala. I've had that walk from Najaf to Karbala 3 or 4 times. But I tell you, this last 4th time I went was incredible. I don't know, something about the people, something about the haram, something about this and that. And I always tell them that the haram has never changed. The walk has been the walk. It's the exact same people every single year. What has changed is you. Is you. The reality inside of you changed. Not the reality outside of you. The Kaaba has always been there. The Dhari of Abu Abdullah has always been there. The people of Iraq have always been there. You have not always been there. You have changed. We pray for the reality inside of us to change. Not for water to dry up, not for an exam to change to grade 4. Simply won't happen. Because what ends up happening is that when we pray and pray and pray for things outside of us to change that will not change, because that's ghayri hikmat of Allah, then we start to lose hope in the institution of dua. We're like, forget this. Why am I asking Him when He doesn't even acknowledge my du'as? And that's when we start to get what? Ala harfin, from that edge of the cliff I talked about. Slowly but surely we get to that edge. And we start to ask for A, B, and C for their help, instead of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Dua is key. Without dua, we're nothing. We're asking Allah that Allah give me that potential to handle these trials. وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا فِي الْإِنسَانَ فِي كَبَدٍ. The insan has been created inside the cradle of distress. Allah wants you to be in distress, not in a torturous way, but in a way that what? In a way that says, I want to see how you react when things become a little bit rocky in your world. And also there's one more thing I want to say, and I say this with complete responsibility. and I hope nobody misunderstands this. There are moments that, yes, Allah will delay the response to your dua because after months and months we're asking Him. It's a point I've made here before. We have hadith, and again I'm paraphrasing, where Allah now commands the angels, do not fulfill His dua just yet. I have not heard the sound of His voice in a very long time. It's been months since He'd come to Shab al-Jum'ah. It's been months since He'd done the amal of the day of Ashura. And now He's begging me with tears in His eyes for something. If I grant Him His dua, He'll be gone again. He'll take His answer and be gone for months again. Let Him ask. I like the sound of His voice, not in a torturous way, guys, in a loving way. The example I often give is when I was in Qum, for example, I would talk to my mother a few times a week. And sons and their mothers, they have very quick conversations. How are you? Good. Did you eat? Yes. Khudafis. That's it. All she's concerned about, did you eat? I ate. If it's one thing I do, I eat, alhamdulillah. There's nothing else that I do. There's no way that, I'm going to miss a meal. Then there are moments where I remember specifically I would call my mother and she would actually want to talk a little bit longer. Because she missed me, right? Because I'm the best son of the four, so she missed me. It's just a known fact, I'm sorry. And so literally she would make up excuses just to keep me on the phone. Ask me questions about, the weather in Iran and your neighbors, and do they have tomatoes in Iran, for example, and, do they have shan masala in Qum? Yeah, they do, Mom. They have this, they have that, they have this. And I kid you, 40, 45 minutes of just random talk, but she wants to keep me on the phone. Until she's done, until she has tasalli, until her heart is full, and then she's okay, you know what, I feel better, thank you, khudafis. That's a mother. 1/70th love of Allah. And now when we ask Allah on the musalla, tears in our eyes, we're begging Allah, Allah, I know I have not come to you in months. In months I haven't come to you. And now I'm asking you, begging you, I'm stuck. I'm stuck here. I've tried everything. I went to A, B, C, this person, this person. I went to my common guys that I go to that fix everything for me. Even they can't fix this problem. So let me try this avenue. And Allah says, oh, look who it is. And I love the sound of that voice. I've missed the sound of that voice. I don't call my mom for days. She gets mad. Just let me hear your voice so I know you're okay. That's exactly how Allah is times 70, ya Allah. So yes, He'll tell the angels, let them keep asking me. That's why persistence, we have hadith. Persistence in dua is very, very important. Keep knocking on the door. Identify the door and then keep knocking on that door. I'll give you a third very bad example. Okay? How many now? 3 bad examples. In front of Mulana Abdi, can you see? Imagine the himmat. In front of Mulana Abdi. 3 bad examples. Halloween. Okay? Halloween. Yalla, don't ask me. Halal, haram. I don't know. Halloween. Halloween. If you went, enjoy your candy, inshallah. Okay? I want you to imagine these kids, not your kids, these kids in this society go trick-or-treating, okay? Please follow the example very, very, and then masaib, inshallah. And that is this, that when they go trick-or-treating, they can find out, without even ringing the doorbell, which house has candy, which house doesn't have candy. Correct? You come to a house that's completely dark. Not one light on, not even a candle, nothing. Big sign says, no candy, go away. But still, the kid will do what? We'll ring the doorbell once, just in case the sign is wrong, just in case somebody found, I don't know, a half-eaten Snickers they give to me, whatever. I'll take whatever you have. They'll ring the doorbell once. No answer, they'll leave. All right? His next door neighbor, mashallah, pumpkins and ghouls and witches and God knows what else. The kids are dressed up. The parents, for some reason, are dressed up. The dog has a costume on. There's weird music. There's all sorts of stuff here, right? The door opens by itself. The skeleton on the front lawn. All these things. If any house has candy, this guy has candy. You knock. You knock. No answer. You knock again. No answer. You keep knocking until that door opens. Because you're convinced that what's behind that door is what I need. It's what I need. That neighbor, I knocked once and I left. Just by chance. I knew this guy doesn't have what I need. It's obvious. I know this guy, all his signs are present. It's just a matter of him opening the door. Allah hasn't given us signs. Allah has not given us sign after sign after sign in our personal life, in the ummah, in our family life, to say, look, if you want to keep knocking on my door. But it will eventually open. I will give you the candy that you want. Just recognize the door is the door to knock on. Persistence. The more you knock on the door, the more yaqeen you have that the door will eventually open. These kids will ring the doorbell until their fingers turn blue, but they have certainty. We're close, until they see the dog coming to the door. Like, yeah, somebody's home. We'll get that candy. You keep knocking, at the door that you think and you know will have the candy, that door will open. And with every knock, your yaqeen goes up, and more up. Persistence in your dua. وَحَبْ لَنَا مِن لَدُنْكَ رَحْمَةً. Ask Allah for something special. I don't want any mercy. I want that mercy that's ladun, that's unique in nature. To break this cycle that sometimes I submit to Him conditionally and sometimes I want to submit to Him completely and absolutely. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So 2 verses that I want all of you to please ponder on. If you can save them to your notes, that'd be great. Surah Hajj, ayat number 11. Surah AlEimran, ayat number 8. If you can include that second dua into your qunut or your everyday discussion, that would be great. It's a very powerful dua. We're asking Allah, I don't want to go on zayg. I don't want to steer off the path without me knowing it. I want you, with your special mercy, to keep me on this path, inshallah. If you look at the sacrifice of Imam Hussain and his family and his friends, there has been too much sacrifice. Imam Hussain took his 6-month-old Ali Asghar to Karbala. Imam Hussain sacrificed the cream of his cream to send us a message. Imam Hussain took his women on this qafilah, on this trip. And all of that was to ensure that the submission of Allah not be lost, that the deen not be in the hands of someone like Yazid. No price is too high, no sacrifice is too big. Everything was worthy of the deen, even my own blood. And if that wasn't enough, if he wasn't enough of a role model, then we look to Bibi Zeyneb. And to me, what is a tragedy is that we have reduced Bibi Zeyneb to be a role model for our sisters only. She had incredible qualities inside of her, and I wish I had a whole majlis for her alone. She was just like her father. Her father, Imam Ali, was the epitome of somebody who had antithetical qualities inside of him. When it was time for him to kill the kuffar on the battlefield, he did without hesitation. When it was time for him to feed the orphans in the middle of the night, he did without hesitation. When there's a moment for him to have this rage for Allah against the enemy, he had that rage. When it came time for him to cry like a baby on the musalla, he cried like a baby on the musalla. Antithetical. His heart turned black when it needed to, his heart softened when it needed to. And those exact qualities Bibi Zainab showed on the day of Ashura and her entire journey to Sham. When it came time for her to handle the tent and the women and children, she was there every step of the way for the day of Ashura. Why? Imam Hussain was there. Abu Fazl Abbas was there. But the same Zainab was taken right in front of Yazid in that courtyard, and she looked that man in his eye, and she unveiled him for his reality in front of his own people. That's the daughter of Ali. When it came time for her to be soft, she was soft. When it came time for her to have that courage, she had that courage. These qualities can only be found in a woman. And that's enough for us, even as men, to follow. So when we look at this relation between Bibi Zainab and Imam Ali, it was a very special one. When Imam Ali was struck with the sword of Ibn Muljim on the morning of the 19th of Ramadan, Imam Hassan enters the masjid and he sees lying there on the ground was his father, blood pouring from his head. Imam Hassan runs and picks up the head of his father and puts it on his lap, and he begins to cry. Imam Hassan does. And Imam Ali says to Imam Hassan that now is not the time to cry. Be patient. Dry your tears. Imam Hussain walked into the masjid, saw the exact same scene, began to cry. Ali says, Hussain, now's not the time to cry. Now the time to be patient. He was brought back to the house. Imam Ali was brought to his hujra, his special room. In walks Zeyneb and Kulthum. Imam Ali is sitting there. He looks up to Bibi Zeyneb. Bibi Zeyneb begins to cry. Imam Ali's reaction to Hassan was one, to Hussain was one. He said to Hassan, don't cry. He said to Hussain, don't cry. Be patient, Hassan. Be patient, Hussain. But when he saw the tears of Zeyneb, our Mawla began to cry himself. I would say this to you, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen. One tear of Zeynab causes you to break down. Come to Tile Zainabiyya. Come to Bazar-e-Sham. Come to the courtyard of Yazid. Your same Zeynab will be taken as prisoners from Kufa to Sham. When the doctor approaches Imam Ali and says that the poison, Ali, has gone into your entire body, it's a matter of a few moments now or a few hours now that you'll be gone, I would begin to give advice to your children. Imam Ali sits down all of his kids one by one and gives them advice. And there comes a moment where this very difficult conversation happens between Imam Ali and his daughter Zeynab. And my fathers in the audience who have daughters, you know how special fathers and daughters are to each other. Zeynab now is watching her father literally die in front of her eyes, and Imam Ali begins to tell her that Zeynab, in this very Kufa after me, this will happen to you, that will happen to you, this will happen to you, that will happen to you. And my advice to you, my daughter, is that with every single trouble and hardship, be patient, be patient, be patient. And Bibi Zeynab is sitting there watching. Can you imagine how difficult it is that on one side you see your father dying in front of you, on the other he lays out a picture that you will go through all these very difficult trials, asking to be patient, be patient, be patient. When he is done, Zeynab looks to Imam Ali and says, Baba, I'll be patient. But if ever I ask you for help, will you come and help me, Baba? He says, of course I will. Let's examine, these are the days of Arba'een. Let's examine where Zeynab asked Ali for help. The 28th of Rajab, this qafla moves from Medina towards Kufa. Everyone comes in one by one. They're all mounted onto the horse, onto the camel. Then all of a sudden, an announcement is made that lower your gaze, lower your eyes. The daughter of Fatima is about to exit her home. Zeynab comes out. In front of her for her greeting is Ali Akbar. Qasim is there. Ono Muhammad are there. Abul Fazl is there. Hussain himself is there. And collectively they one by one, they do what? They mount her onto the horse and get her settled in. Why is that important? Because that same moment where Bibi Zeynab is now required for another journey after the day of Ashura, when this qafla is going from Karbala to Kufa, Kufa to Sham, there comes a moment where now she mounts everybody onto the camels. And there comes a moment where Kulthum, her sister, and her Zeynab herself are standing there side by side. Zeynab says, Kulthum, I'll mount you on the horse. Kulthum says, no, I'll mount you, Zeynab, on the horse. Zeynab mounts Kulthum on the horse. Zeynab stands there alone. My heart tells me that she remembers that day in Medina when Ali Akbar was there, Qasim was there, Abbas was there, Hussain was there. That Zeynab, look how many of your soldiers are there for your istiqbal. But this is after the day of Ashura. Ali Akbar is gone. Ono Muhammad are gone. Abul Fazl is gone. Hussain is gone. Zeynab stands there alone. And the books say for a moment she pauses and she doesn't call out for Hussain, doesn't call out for Ono Muhammad. She looks towards Furat and says, Abbas, your Zeynab is standing here alone. I never thought that day would come. She cried out for Abbas, but she never asked her Baba for help. Oh no, Muhammad passed away, never asked Baba for help. Ali Akbar was brought back to the Khayma, never asked Baba for help. Tile Zainabiyya, 70 steps from the Qatlgah of Imam Hussain, witnessing the head on the spear, never asked Baba for help. The tents were on fire, never asked Baba for help. She saw Sakina get slapped, never asked Baba for help. One by one this entire journey, but there comes a moment where this qafla now enters the courtyard of Yazid, and there are 7 doors to that courtyard. Zeyneb enters the first 6 without any problems. The 7th door opens, my brothers and my sisters. Standing in front of the daughter of Fatima are 700 men waiting for this show to arrive. Zeyneb stops and says to Sajjad, Sajjad, I will not enter this courtyard. I am the daughter of Fatima. Sajjad says to Zainab, Pupiyama, please just enter a little bit of the courtyard, a little bit of patience. I'm with you. I'm with you. And she goes back and forth, back and forth. Finally, when she says, you're the Imam of my time, whatever you say I have to listen to, I'll enter the courtyard. But tell me one thing, Sajjad, which way is it to Najaf? Bibi Zainab turns towards Najaf and says, Baba, your Zainab now is asking you for help. سيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. ماتم حسين يا حسين يا حسين يا حسين.
Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain. Brothers, please come forward. Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain. I'm Zainab. All my life I lived in pain. I'm Zainab. I died when I lost Hussain. I'm Zainab. All my life I lived in pain. I'm Zainab. I died when I lost Hussain. I'm Zainab. All my life I lived in pain. I'm Zainab. I'm Zainab. I died when I am the mother of sorrows. Wherever I go, woe follows. I am the mother of sorrows. I'm Zainab. All my life I lived in pain. I'm Zainab. I'm Zainab. All my life I lived in pain. I'm Zainab. My grief started when I lost mankind's true mercy. My grief started when I lost mankind's true mercy. After that loss, I lost Zahra and then Ali. The broken rim, the struck hand of Ali haunts me. My grief deepens, seeing Hassan dying slowly. How can I live now without you, my dear? How can I see your hand shine on a spear? How can I live now without you, my dear? How can I see your hand shine on a spear? I am the mother of sorrows. Wherever I go, woe follows. I am the mother of I'm Zainab. All my life I lived in pain. I'm Zainab. I'm Zainab. All my life I lived in pain. I'm Zainab. I died when I am the mother of sorrows. Wherever I go, woe follows. I am the My grief started when I lost mankind's true mercy. My grief started when I lost mankind's true mercy. After that loss, I lost Zahra and then Ali. My grief started when I lost mankind's true mercy. After that loss, I lost Zahra and then Ali. The broken rim, the struck hand of Ali haunts me. My grief deepens, seeing Hassan dying slowly. How can I live now without you, my dear? How can I see your hand shine on a spear? How can I live now without you, my dear? How can I see your hand shine on a spear? I am the mother of sorrows, wherever I go, woe follows. I am the mother of wherever. I'm Zeyneb, all my life. I'm Zeyneb. Barakallah. I'm Zeyneb. I'm Zeyneb. My heart was shattered on the day Hussain was killed. The day of 10th when the whole world with blood was filled. Upon my mind sorrow and pain was instilled. Oh Lord, let our small sacrifice now be fulfilled. Oh Shia, when you're thirsty, say his name. Oh Shia, curse the one who lit the flame. Oh Shia, when you're thirsty, say his name. Oh Shia, curse the one who lit the flame. I am the mother of sorrows wherever. I am the mother of sorrows wherever I go, woe follows. I'm Zeyneb, all my life. I'm Zeyneb. I'm Zeyneb. I'm Zeyneb. Ya Hussain.
حسينا وحسينا 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 حسينا حسينا وحسينا حسينا صغيرة ويتموني رقية وأسروني صغيرة ويتموني رقية وأسروني كتور مصرع أبويا شتموني شتموني حسينا وحسينا حسينا وحسينا حسينا وحسينا حسينا حسينا وحسينا حسينا وحسينا يا ابويا من تحت وبجسمك جروح يا ابويا من تحت وبجسمك جروح لقيتك عالثرى يا ابويا مطروح لقيتك عالثرى يا ابويا مطروح، قعدت كترك يا هالضامية مذبوح، قعدت كترك يا هالضامية مذبوح، تعالت صرختي بالونة والنوح، تعالت صرختي بالونة والنوح، كتر جسمك أنادي يسمعون الأعادي، كتر جسمك أنادي يسمعون الأعادي، يكتر جسمك أنادي يسمعون الأعادي، ولا حنوا علي شتموني شتموني، حسينا وحسينا حسينا وحسينا حسينا وحسينا حسينا وحسينا صغيرة ويتموني رقاية وأسروني، صغيرة ويتموني رقاية وأسروني، كتر مصرع أبويا شتموني شتموني، حسينا وحسينا حسينا وحسينا حسينا وحسينا حسينا حسينا وحسينا حسينا أنا طفلة صحيت ما حد رحمني، أنا طفلة صحيت ما حد رحمني، يا ابويا والشمر تقني وحضامني، يا ابويا والشمر تقني وضامني، تعاني بصوت يا ابويا وضربني، تعاني بصوت يا ابويا ضربني، تعاني بصوت يا ابويا ضربني ضربني، يا هل تنظر مصابي يا هل دمعة عذابي، يا هل تنظر مصابي يا هل دمعة عذابي، واشوف انك رمية شتموني شتموني، حسينا وحسينا حسينا وحسينا حسينا وحسينا، بعد مرة حسينا وحسينا حسينا وحسينا حسينا، صغيرة ويتموني رقاية وأسروني، صغيرة ويتموني رقاية وأسروني، صغيرة ويتموني رقاية وأسروني، كتر مصرع أبويا شتموني شتموني، حسينا وحسينا حسينا وحسينا حسينا وحسينا
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك يا رسول الله، السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء، السلام عليك يا حسن المجتبى، السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين جميع شهداء كربلاء ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا غريب الغرباء سلطان بالحسن يا علي بن موسى رضا، كن شفينا وشفيء والدنا في يوم الجزاء ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا صاحب العصر والزمان، السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن، السلام عليك مزهر الإيمان، عجل الله تعالى فرجه، السلام عليكم يا أهل بيت النبوة جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته.